let's talk books and eat at the same time. Okay. So basically I just got home from a weekend at my dad's house. So that was fun. But now I'm home and I tried uploading a video this weekend and it wasn't working. And I completely edited, filmed, I uploaded it, I thought, and then it was like, upload error. So then I was like, great, thanks. So here I am. I know this is a lot of plastic, I'm sorry. I'm part of the reason turtles are dying, I'm sorry. But then I was like, I'm gonna talk about books because I've been on like, not a reading kick because summer is like my reading kick time, but I've read a few books. These are not the books that I've read. These are not the books that I've read, but these are books that I would recommend to anybody who wants to get into reading, who's been in a slump and would like to start reading more, because I understand the slump. I was just there and I feel myself falling into another one soon. But yeah, so that's part of the reason why I haven't been here as well. Like, school has just been kicking my butt and anxiety is a beast. So, you know, I had to give up a few things in order to, you know, survive, thrive. Hold on, this sun is like blinding me. It might be good lighting, but I don't know. Okay, and this is better. Sorry, now my face is like gritted. Not much I can do. Sorry. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna eat and I'm gonna share books that I like. But I'm gonna start off with two that I don't have copies of like with me currently. So we're gonna start off with The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is a really good book. I really love this book. I wish I had it in my hands to like fiddle with it. But basically there's like a secret romance and okay, let's start. Evelyn is this movie star from like the 50s during that time. And she is like that girl. You know, like how we have like that girl? She is that girl. She's the, you know, that girl. So we're like following her story and like she's known to have 7 different husbands. So we're finding out what the story is behind each of the husbands, why she had 7 husbands. And there's like a secret romance bit like brewing behind the scenes. I read this book, I think within like the span of 2 or 3 days, which is like pretty quick for me. I'm not like the type of person to read a book in a day. That's just like not me, because I don't know. I have like so much going on up here that it's very hard for me to do anything but like deal with what's going on up here. So, you know, it's just not me to read a book in a day. But 2 or 3 days, that's really good for me. So I read this book within like 2 or 3 days and it was really good. It's pretty fast paced. You kind of get started as soon as you start reading the book. But you're also finding out, it's like in an interview style too. So you're also finding out like information behind the interviewer, and it's just like, there's a lot going on. There's a twist at the end that I wasn't able to guess. But I'm like also not good at guessing plot twists. That's like not my thing. So yeah, read it. The second book that is probably like one of my favorite books of all times is The Unhoneymooners. That book deserved all of the hype that it got and so much more, honestly. So unfortunately this one got ruined with soy sauce, which also stained my shoes. I have a thing with soy sauce and it's staining stuff, I guess, but anyways, ruined my book. So this book is a beachy book. I bought it while I was at the beach, read it while I was on the beach, and in my pool, everywhere. I read it everywhere. This book is so good. Like, I cannot explain. It is like the best. I don't know how to explain it to you other than saying it's the best book I've ever read. I think I've talked about it on here before, so I'm not going to say too much about it. Other than I read this one in a day. I did. So that's like, you know, telling you something. If I was able to get out of like my own world and my own head and totally like entrance myself in this new book, that's saying a lot. Okay, I like remember I started it at like one point in time, and then when I finished, like finally put it down for like a little while, it's like, wow, I just read 200 pages and it's like an hour. It's been an hour or something. Like, Christina Lauren's writing is there's two of them, so Christina and Lauren, I think, I don't know, but their writing is so good, and it's just like so good. That's like all I can say. Now I'm gonna talk about The Selection. The Selection is a book. I've never read The Hunger Games, so I can't like say it's like The Hunger Games, but I've heard people say it's like The Hunger Games and The Bachelorette or Bachelor. So basically there's this main character, her name is America, and they're living in like, it's like a dystopian novel, so it's like set in the future, I guess. But there's different castes. So she is in love with this boy who is from a caste that is lower than her caste, which is like forbidden. Like they don't want that because you want to marry up so you can like have more money and support your children or whatever. But she falls in love with this guy. He's in a lower caste than she is, and so like that's like a big thing. Like so they have to hide their romance. But then she is selected to go to the castle with Prince Maxon. And in there, she doesn't want anything to do with it because she just wants to go home to her love from his lower caste or whatever. And she's like a pretty low caste herself. Like they scrounge for food and for like everything. So yeah. So anyway, she's like, I don't want to be here. I'm here just because like I have to be here. But of course she falls in love with the prince. So like there's a little love triangle, and this is a series. There are 5 books in like the whole series, but there are 3 about America and then 2 about her child. The last like 4 and 5 are okay, but the like actually like America's story is really good. So yeah, this next one is what got me to be a reader. Okay, this started my reading journey, and I just love this book. Okay. This is a known book. Everybody knows this book. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus, okay? She is a queen for writing this novel, or not novel, but book, whatever. I don't know what a novel is, so I'm not going to call anything a novel, but it might be a novel. She's a queen for writing this book, and the book that came after this one. Basically, there's this boy, his name is Simon. He dies, okay? And basically, they're trying to figure out who is the murderer. Is it Bronwyn? Is it Cooper? Is it Nate? Or is it Addie? So you're following this story, but along the way, basically the Simon guy, he had like this app where he would like tell a bunch of drama about people who were in the school, and so he had dirt on all 4 of these people, right? So throughout the way, you're dropping little hints, but you don't find out who it is to the end, and you're like, do I trust any of these people? You know, should I trust any of these people? There's like 2 romances that butt in here, a lot of drama. I don't know. It's a good mystery. So, Daisy Jones and the Six. It is also written by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which is the same author that wrote 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So you know it's going to be another good book. This is written in interview style as well, but it's different than the other one because the other one was like she's being interviewed. This one is literally interview style. Like if I go to a page, it's like somebody said this, and I don't know. I heard that the audiobook was really good. So yeah, I hope there wasn't a spoiler on the page that I just showed you, but I want to say I read this in the pool. I don't know, but this is based in the 70s, I believe, which I love the 70s. That's like a theme for me, I guess, but I don't know. It tells the story of a band and how like they were like the biggest band at the time. There's a little bit of romance involved in here. Oh, and then there's a plot twist that I just remembered. And if you could see, like, it's like a good one. Like, I didn't guess that at all either. I don't know. This book is so good. A lot of people love it. So, yeah. And it was fast paced. I read this in like 2 days. So, yeah. The next one. The Score. Elle Kennedy can do no wrong with the Off-Campus series. Let me tell you. This is probably my favorite one in the whole entire series. I don't know why, but they're both likable. Like, it's okay. So it's about Dean. He's this guy. He's like a major player. And if you don't know about the Off-Campus series, it's like there's 4 different hockey players, and it's about their girlfriends that they get. The story between them, basically. So anyways, they're all like players or whatever. So, but Dean De Laurentiis is the biggest one of all of them. We have sweet little Allie that comes in this one, and she's like best friends with the love interest from the first book. So basically it's like the budding romance between the 2 of them, and Dean is like not a relationship guy at all. He just is that's not interested. You know, he doesn't like it. Allie is a relationship girly, so she wants it. But she doesn't really like want it with Dean. So anyways, it's just like a battle between, do we want to date, do we not want to date, and like the story between them. It's really cute. And it's also like they have to hide it from all their other friends because it's like, I don't know, the girls in the series and some of the guys honestly are so like, not unlikable, but sometimes you're just like, yeah, you know, like I just can't relate with some of the characters. But I really liked both of them, and I thought that they were like, they're very likable people. So I think that's why it's my favorite of the series, but all 4 of the books are really good. And I find myself more interested when it is a series because you're able to like see what's happening with all of the characters like over a long period of time rather than with a few of the characters in one book, if that makes sense. My last one. This is my ultimate favorite book of all time, and I don't think that will ever change. This is Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau. I think is how you say the last name. I don't know. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. This is my favorite book of all time. It's based in the 70s, and it's a coming-of-age novel. So basically, there's this girl. Her name is Mary Jane, and she's like been held captive by her parents forever. So she's like the most innocent, sweet little girl you will ever meet. But then she becomes this like babysitter nanny type thing for this family, and the father, he's a psychologist. I think he's a psychologist. I should know this because that's what I want to study, but I think he's a psychologist. And the mother, she's just like a stay-at-home mom, but like, you know, she's like a hippie chick girl, which we love her. I love Mrs. Cone. But anyways, there's a rock star that has like his battles with like drug addiction. So basically he comes to stay with this family so like the father, Dr. Cone, can like take care of him and help him with like his drug issue or whatever, because you know he's a psychologist. And then his girlfriend is a big TV show actress. So basically they work together. So basically they come live with the family, and it tells about how Mary Jane is not so innocent anymore. Because she's not so innocent anymore because she starts to find out things through the rock star and his girlfriend. But it's just such a good novel. I would literally like kiss every page of this if I could. It's a good book. I read this in a day. It's my favorite book ever. So, yeah. These are my favorite books ever. I would hug all of the authors if I could for writing these books. I think that if you are in a slump, you would like to read, you want to get into reading, these are the books you need to start with. And this is also like a pretty good mixture of books. Like, this is mystery, this is romance, this is just like coming of age. It's, you know, cutesy pootsy. This is romance. And this is what I call contemporary fiction, in my opinion. So there's a good variety of books here. And then the other 2 novels that I mentioned that I don't have with me right now are also like romance, I would say. So yes, obviously I am a romance reader. So if you have any other book recommendations that you want from me, make sure to leave that down below. By the time I'll probably have read more books. Right now I'm reading a pretty heavy book. So yeah, I don't know. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Since I think I'm gonna have this video up on a Tuesday. Till Tuesday. Sorry.